one.
I know I'm on. I understand that. I mean, I know it. You told me in my ear. We're back, folks. Thank you, Amanda. I'm trying to read text messages. We're trying to read emails. Oh, no. You know, I just walked away from the Twitter deck for not even 20 minutes. And what the hell? President Donald Trump has tweeted out 28 minutes ago, just 28 minutes ago, a total witch hunt. I think he should change it to a Trump hunt, right? A total witch hunt with massive conflicts of interest. Total witch hunt. Massive conflicts of interest. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Having way too much fun. I got a political meeting to go to tonight. Fannin County Republican Party. I'm going to go up there tonight. Went to a Union County Republican Party Saturday morning. And I want you to stay with me because I want to do what I call a, well, it's not what I call it. I want to do a one of our viewers, a tribute to one of our viewers at the end of the show, okay? And I was trying to figure out which email to read, but I'm going to do a tribute to one of our viewers at the end of the show. It is 9:37. We're running a little late. Amanda, you got a little something? Welcome, Amanda.
Hey, I got a little something.
What you got?
And it's for you, too. It's your favorite person here lately. Can you guess who it is?
No. I mean, I have trouble with favorite person. I mean, I got love. It could be Rick. It could be, well, no, Hope. It's not Rick if we're talking about Hope Hicks. Hell with Rick.
No, it's not Hope Hicks. It's the other one.
Oh, go ahead. I got it. Go ahead. Yes. A little stormy news. A little stormy news.
Yeah, I got some stormy news.
What do you have?
Cohen.
I feel like I'm taking your order at the varsity. What you have, what you have.
All right. So Cohen, I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, is seeking $20 million in damages from Stormy Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And her attorney actually bites back. How can President Trump seek $20 million in damages against my client based on an agreement that he and Mr. Cohen claim Trump never was a party to? But what he fails to mention is, actually, this was actually a deal between Mr. Cohen and Mrs. Daniels. Or actually, her real name is Mrs. Clifford. So,
Mrs. what?
There we go. No, this is an agreement between the attorney.
What's her real name?
Stephanie Clifford.
Nobody show up to see Stephanie Clifford,
right?
You know.
Yeah, that name.
Dance.
Stephanie Clifford. But, so her name is on the agreement when Mr. Trump is not. So, even if, you know, you still violated the agreement because you signed it.
Well, so, and exactly why did you think we needed Stormy Daniels?
$20 million. I think it's hilarious because she only got, what, 130? And now he's biting back with 120 million. I thought that was hilarious. I got a kick out of it, you grouch.
Yeah. What did you call me? Did you call me a grouch?
Yeah.
Oh.
To say the least.
You see, folks, Supreme Court to weigh free speech. Okay, this is March 19th. Stay with me here, Amanda. Supreme Court to weigh free speech for anti-abortion centers. The Supreme Court on Tuesday will hear whether California is violating, that's tomorrow, free speech rights by forcing anti-abortion pregnancy centers to post information about the availability of state-funded abortions. Okay, The decision is expected by end of June, could trigger legal changes in other states such as similar laws in Hawaii and Illinois. Depending on the outcome, reproductive rights advocates may seek to overturn anti-abortion laws that require doctors to tell women that abortions lead to mental health problems or breast cancer, disclosures that abortion advocates say are false.
I think that we should have access to any information that our taxes contribute to.
Period. Right?
Period.
Any information our taxes contribute to. Okay. Anything else you got on the horizon there?
That's all I've got.
So
I do have something for tomorrow, though.
So you came on the show. You come on the show on and you on at 9:30 on a Monday morning, and you've got Stormy Daniels news.
Yeah, I went back with a punch with Stormy Daniels.
Yes, there is a lawsuit. Okay, McCabe
Don't
threatens.
be grouchy.
Do you? I'm not grouchy. Let me wrap this show.
I thought you'd like that.
I do like it. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It wasn't in the flow. I didn't want to see. I wonder what she has invested in all of her work.
I don't think she has anything invested. She doesn't really seem like a smart person, so.
Well,
I think she's just winging it, you know?
I have noticed how all of the media with the moral ethical compass feels the words from a porn star actress / dancer / dollar bill collector.
Dollar bill collector.
Like, what if you go in there like you got a 10 and you look at it and say, do you make change? Like, she can make it.
No.
Could you get me off this subject? Let's get out of here. McCabe threatens to take people down. Thank you very much, Amanda. Always love to have you on the show.
You're very welcome.
And step in, even if you do call me grouchy. McCabe threatens to take people down with him if fired. He has taken them down. McCabe will take them down. My interesting thing is, when will they start talking? I'm not worried about Papadopoulos. All I hear is about Priebus, Bannon. When do they crack? And I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something. They did not expect Sessions to fire him. That is the deep state shot heard around. That is the shot heard completely through the deep state. They did not expect that, okay? And Trump is far from finished. He needs your help. So don't forget, they did not expect that. Something very quickly before we go. Let's put up the picture again. Let's go to the 8th Georgia 8th District, House of Representatives. So I go up to Saturday morning, Union County, Republican Party, and representative from the 8th District, Matthew Gutler, is there, and he's running for re-election. It's his first term. So I asked Mr. Gutler, he's talking about these bills, and he's talking about a change in leadership and punishment and so on and so forth, okay? And I asked Mr. Gutler how many bills, okay, he has introduced in his 2-year term, how many bills he introduced, how many have made it to the floor for a vote, and how many has he gotten passed. Well, it's not unusual to be the freshman representative in a district to really not get out of the box and get bills on the floor and get bills passed. Now, I think one of the frustrations that Mr. Gutler has is the leadership. And that's plural, there's several. But the Speaker of the House and the leadership, which is David Ralston. You got a picture of David Ralston. Let's put this up. David Ralston, Speaker of the House, that has his own opponent in the 7th District. makes a decision on what bills make it to the floor. Okay? What bills make it to the floor? And Speaker Ralston, decides, hey, in this session, this bill needs to go to the floor, this bill needs to come to the floor. And he continually over and over said, hey, we need a change in leadership, and talked about if you basically buck the leadership, you get punished, which would again be Speaker Ralston. So I asked him, how many have you got to the floor? How many have you gotten a vote? How many have gotten passed? Did I send you Ralston's picture or not? Okay. And he has sponsored, he said he sponsored 8 bills in the last 2 years. Okay. A couple went into committee, I think he said, but never came out, my understanding. And there's Speaker of the House, David Ralston, which Gutler later admits to me that he thinks that this guy should not be Speaker of the House. So go back to Matthew Gutler. And 8 he has put up, okay? And a couple went in committee, I understand, never came out. He's never had a bill on the floor to be voted on, never had a bill to be voted on, and has not had one passed in 2 years. He's not the first representative that's happened to, all right? And he did vote against this year's budget. Now, he has an interesting proposal of not having omnibus budgets, which I can't say I think is the worst proposal, not having omnibus type budgets where we have a $26 million budget and you vote yes or no, but having each department present their budget and voting by department and creating the state budget that way. All right, that's not the worst way to do that. Texas does that, folks, but they do it every 2 years. And we get further into that, but that's something that Texas does. So it's not that bad, and they do it every 2 years. So there's a focus on the department. They do a 2-year budget instead of 1. So he called for a change in leadership and talked about being punished. Now, he has an opponent, Dr. Mickey Cummings, okay? And did I send Dr. Mickey Cummings' picture over? This is the only one I have right now of him hiking. He's the former extension agent, UGA extension agent in the area, Union County, Dr. Mickey Cummings. He is the opponent. He was at the Republican Party meeting, very crowded room, did not take up a lot of time. Now, Gutler took 15, 20 minutes because he's the representative, so he was given a report. When it came time for candidates, they let him have about 2 minutes. He basically got up, introduced himself, said he was a candidate for the House of Representatives, Georgia House of Representatives, District 8. His name is Dr. Mickey Cummings, and he made reference to the Union County Farmers Market and how a lot of people would go to him and say what he did to make the Union County Farmers Market happen and develop it and what you see today. And he said, no. He said, when people tell me that, I say it was a team effort. Team effort, totally. He used team effort. And he said, I'm a team player, and if elected, I'll be a team player because it takes a team effort, is basically a quote. So that's his opponent there, Dr. Mickey Cummings. I don't have anything else right off. We're about 10 days from session being over, all right? We have a governor. Hold on just a minute. I was looking at an article that just came up. We have a governor that has a governor candidate, Democrat, Stacey Abrams, that seems to have a lot of financial questions out there. We have there's going to be, I want to look at, we have Clay Tippin's going to be on the show Friday, right? Tonight is Fannin County. Republican Party to put up my Board of Education. And let me tell you why. Because I just got to thinking over the weekend, and I'm going to say in a way disappointed, okay? And this is pretty much my little personal opinion. I'm going through all the counties, okay? And Board of Education is considered not a big deal, okay? People go to run for Board of Education and they have all this passion and they're going to change the world on the Board of Education. They're going to bring back local control, just all the lists that they have. They have so much enthusiasm, energy when they go in. But then bureaucracy in Atlanta or whatever state you're in works immediately to break them. Immediately. If you go into the Board of Education and you're a new member and you have ambition of going in there and for the last several years stopping Common Core and being upset with the testing, all of this testing and so on and so forth, and when you get there they send you to training and they immediately beat this ambition, these goals out of you. And try to, and don't take that wrong, any Board of Education members, but they do everything they can to beat that free spirit and being beholden to the people that elected you out of you as soon as possible. That's my opinion. To the effect, they want you to have workshops, which is good, to discuss anything that would be an issue that maybe you don't agree on as a board. And they go as far to suggest that if it's a subject that you just can't agree on, table it, okay? Because you have 5-member Board of Education. The membership is 5, which means 2 can talk at any time and not have the Sunshine Law broken. So Board member 1 can call Board member 3. Board member 3 can call Board member 5. Board member 5 can call Board member 2. And by the time they get done calling everybody, everybody's got it worked out, and they call back and forth, and that's not breaking the Sunshine Law. And by the time they get there, they're encouraged to have a unified vote. They're encouraged, not told they have to, but they're encouraged that when they bring items to the floor for a vote, that they have a unified vote and it's all in favor, aye, boom, move along. Do not vote no. That shows, okay, that shows that there's a disconnect in the community. And you don't want that. You want unity in the community. All of that being said, we have the shooting at Parkland High School. And we have these kids coming out and being that so many of these kids do not even know what the 3 branches of government are. Some of these kids know nothing about the process. You have seen all of the breakdown from the FBI to the school. Now we find out at Parkland, the school, I think the school psychologist and the sheriff's office, even the cowardly SRO officer, they wanted this mental evaluation that would actually put this kid away. My understanding is coming out. So we look at every single failure, but we've got MoveOn.org, we got George Soros, we got Planned Parenthood, the list goes on, that rushed in to pay for these kids to come out and say it was the NRA and an AR-15 with the help of CNN. And we have walkouts, and don't take this wrong, listen to me, don't screw my words up, the only way I can put it. But we had these kids walk out in North Georgia, and we have these principals that are just gushing over how it wasn't politicized, and they went out and showed 17 minutes of solidarity with fallen students to just show and bring awareness to the problem. And then we have principals that wrote statements that we want our children to express themselves, and they are the future leaders, and we're treating these 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, 20, whatever, like they're so brilliant. They're absolutely just, they got it. And they figured it out. And if we, you and I, the old people with gray hair, would just listen, that's how we treated it. And it's being treated through the media. Oh, we're just gushing. And then I go through the counties to look at who is qualified to run for offices. And I see so many Board of Education members, not that you're bad people, okay, that are running unopposed. Unopposed. The solution is in your community. The solution is the adults. The solution is you. If not you, who? These kids? Instead of you and I working for the administration, and I love a lot of principals, I love superintendents of schools, there's several that are my friends, but instead of you and I working for them, and you and I gushing over these great things these children are doing, there should be, like, right now of all times, every school board election should have 4 or 5 opponents. No, it's not. It's not a coveted office anymore. It's not. You used to could not get another person in the PTA meeting. And the reason I say that is school safety. School safety. Guns, teachers, school marshals. The state of Georgia allows, and here's the reason I'm going to wrap this up. The state of Georgia allows for the local Board of Education to create their safety program for your schools. And I don't like to put them on the spot, but I will tell you this. If you feel there should be a school marshal program in your schools to where there are some weapons, people that are trained properly with weapons if needed, that's your school board's decision. And the state of Georgia says you can do that. Soft targets, no more. Gun-free zones, no more. Our kids' safety, priority 1. School board elections. Think this one out before you make this decision. You have governor, you have everything, but think this one out. I've got to go, but before I do, go ahead and take that down. I want to make a comment here concerning our show. You, the viewers, and how I really feel. It's kind of will let you, I don't know, bring you in a little closer to, why I do the show, who you are, and when I tell you to email me. I save all your emails. I don't put them away. Yes, I'm like Andy McCabe. If I ever need them, I'll have the memo. All jokes aside, when viewers send an email to the show, I can't do that with the text messages, but when viewers send an email to the show, I put it in a folder called Viewer Emails, and I put it in a folder that's maybe your name. You get your own name when you continually send them over and over. And I like to tell this story from time to time because when I started the show 2 years ago and I looked at the camera, there were times when I didn't know if you were out there. I didn't know who's out there. I didn't know if 2 people, 500 people. And then I started getting viewers that communicated with me actively through the show. And that's really when it came to me and it dawned on me and I got the reality that there's some people out there. They're watching. And I beg you, send me an email. Tell me what you think. I call you our research staff. Send me emails. Send me your opinion. Tell me what you think of what I say. Tell me, send me articles. And I know I got a minute. Well, since I started the show, pretty much since I started the show, a lady by the name of Judy Oglesby watched the show every day, never missed the show. And her husband, Frank, which is a good friend of mine, he's the late show guy. He stays up at night reading, so he doesn't get up at the crack of dawn to watch the show. And sometimes he would call me and he'd say, well, I don't know what you were hollering about this morning, but as I came down the hallway, I could hear Judy's computer in there, and you were screaming and yelling about something, and I can hear it all the way down the hall, so I don't know what you were doing this morning. Judy never missed the show. Judy sent messages. She sent messages when she didn't like a joke. We had one of our people on the show tell a joke, and she found it inappropriate. It upset her, made her angry. She sent me a message. She'd send a message when the live feed was down to help us out. You are our technical staff. She'd send a message, okay? She'd send a message when we spelled something wrong. Not that we would ever do that, but if one of the show cards had something spelled wrong, Judy'd let us know. Judy would answer Bruce's question. I have an email here, and the topic is, she always sent a subject. And she said, answering Bruce's question. Well, she watched the All-Star panel every Friday, Judy did. And Bruce asked a question, or brought up a question, and Judy answered it, sent me an email, okay? Judy would send me an email, said, after the kind of show you did today, you may need this after the show. I sent you something a little funny. Judy Oglesby died this past Saturday, and I attended her funeral yesterday in Dalton, and my condolences and sincere love and sympathy from all of us at FetchYourNews.com and Lisa and I to Frank and all of your family. And I want to read one thing. I know it's 10:02 in the morning. I hope you're still here. This is on February 10th, 2016. Yes, February 10th, 2016. Judy gave me her impression of the candidates. Remember, there were 17 candidates on the floor on the debate stage. Judy wrote her impression of the candidates. So let me give you this. Trump speaks loudly and carries a big stick. Cruz, mad and not going to take it anymore. Marco Rubio would make a good prom date. Marco Rubio would make a good prom date, according to Judy. Bush, Jeb Bush, gone and forgotten. Okay. Chris Christie, somebody's favorite uncle. Judy said. John Kasich, Ohio governor, won't shut up. John Kasich, annoying nerd. John Kasich, she thought, was an annoying nerd. Ben Carson, smart but not passionate enough. And Carly Fiorina, I'll call her if my computer breaks. I'll call Carly to fix my computer. That's what Judy told me was her impression of the candidates of February 10th, 2016 at 9:34 a.m. live interaction. Judy, you will be missed. Thank you to Frank Oglesby and the family, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Good morning from the office with your host, BKP. You have a nice day.